some of the riwayat, as mentioned by Ibn Hajar, he said some of the riwayat say that Musaylama instructed Thumama to go to Al-Madinah to kill who? To kill the Prophet ﷺ. But when he went, he got caught by some horsemen returning from a mission that the Prophet had sent them on. They took him into custody, arrested him, brought him to the masjid and tied him to a pillar in the mosque. Famous story. I'm sure most of you heard it. So now Thumama was in the mosque for 4 days, experiencing a dawah by immersion. Right? Immersive dawah. He's just in this Islamic atmosphere, taking it all in, whether he likes it or not. Is that not so? And what does he see? He sees two tribes that used to be at war with each other, used to hate each other, had this never-ending, ongoing vendetta. And now they're what? They're like brothers. Right? They have a little bit of food. One of them has a raghif, right? Round piece of bread. Is what? Tears it in half and gives it to what? His brother from al-Aus, and he's from al-Khazraj. Another brother comes from al-Aus. So he does what? He takes it and gives it to him, and he has nothing. He sees this. These people were at war with each other, and now look. He sees them come for prayer. After the prayer, they make dhikr. They remember Allah. The Prophet gives them a lesson, and they sit there what? So humbly. The Prophet spits, and they do what? They catch the spit and they rub it on themselves. He's watching all of this. He's watching all of this. Never seen nothing like this. Immersion. Dawah by immersion. And so after 4 days of that, he finally gets released. And you would think this would-be assassin is going to run back to his land before the Prophet changes his mind and kills him. Right? What do countries generally do with the person who attempts to assassinate their head of state? Come on, man, they kill him. And they have a right to do that. And nobody's going to argue with that. The Prophet, no, he let him go. Do you think he's going to run back before the Prophet changed his mind? He didn't. He went to a palm grove near the masjid. He bathed, came back, stood at the masjid, in a loud voice he says, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadur Rasulullah. But he didn't stop there. He said, Ya Muhammad, Wallahi, ma kana min wajhin abghad ilayya min wajhik, wa qad asbaha wajhuk al-an ahab al-wujuh ilayh. He said, Oh Muhammad, I swear by Allah, before this moment, your face was the most hated and despised face to me, and now your face has become the most beloved face to me. وَمَا كَانَ مِنْ دِينٍ أَبْغَضْ إِلَيَّ مِنْ دِينِكَ وَقَدْ أَصْبَحَ الْآنَ دِينُكَ أَحَبَّ الْأَدْيَانِ إِلَيْهِ. He said, there was no religion, I hated more than your religion, now your religion become the most beloved religion. Like how? How did he go from would-be assassin to sincere Muslim who loves the Prophet and loves his deen more than any other deen? Immersion. That effect of the character of the companions and the Prophet himself had that impact. Wallahi, ikhwan, we can have that impact today. Why would I have this impact? Because of our character. Our character is the opposite of what it should be. And you don't think they pick up on that? You don't think the people in your office, they might not say it to you, but they see that you come late and leave early. They see that you have a vehicle that they give you, a company car, and you misuse it. You misuse it. You have a phone, a laptop, and you use it for other than company. They see that. They don't say it to you. And then when you open your mouth to give dawah, in their mind they're saying, this hypocrite. I'm not going to listen to anything he says. Think about that, ya ikhwan. Actions speak louder. You can use, or another thing that we should use, is visual aids, similitudes, and even logical, common sense arguments when we what? When we give dawah. The Prophet was big on visual aids. He used to do what? Draw on the sand. Big on similitudes. Giving what? These parables and these examples. Big on that. And also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He alludes to the fact that we should use these logical, common sense arguments that will make sense to the one we're debating or we're discussing with. Maybe discussing is better. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Udu ila sabil rabbik bil hikmah wal mawadat al hasana wajadilhum billati hiya ahsan. And al-jidal هذه this al-jidal hada, this arguing or debating with him in the best way, this is what? This is basically that there is something, one example that Sa'di gave. He said, for example, that there are some things which you can mention as proofs which are textual. You can substantiate textually, but there's also things you can substantiate with reason. And he says there's no harm in that. Substantiating certain things with reason, intellect, logic. He said also there are some proofs that you can use. Basically, there are certain things that the person you're discussing with, they already believe in. So use the things that they believe in to convince them of the things that they what? They don't believe in. That's another example of what? Using these logical arguments. So for example, the person you're debating with is a Christian. And he believes that God can do anything. Right? And that God is all-powerful. You ask him, do you believe God is all-powerful, almighty? Absolutely. Do you believe he can do anything? Yes, he can do anything. Do you think he can be overpowered? No. Explain to me how he was crucified by his creation. I never thought about that. Wahi ikhwan, see how it works? That you know he believes in the omnipotence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, him being almighty. So you can use that to do what? To convince him that some of the things that he believes in are what? Mistaken. So this is how we do what? We make this what? These logical arguments or common sense arguments. ثم بعد ذلك, I have two more I'll mention. Another uslub, another wasila is at-tahfiz. At-tahfiz, we would say incentive. And the brothers, the Arabic brothers, if I said it wrong, if that's not a good translation, let me know. Tahfiz is what? Incentive. Tahfiz. You like encouragement better than incentive? Oh, I like incentive better, but khalas. They say encouragement. I like incentive-based da'wah, but we'll say encouragement-based da'wah.
I think you're right with incentive. Tashji' in Arabiya
is encouraging. That's what I like, yeah.
Verbal thing.
Yeah.
Incentives provide something.
You give them something that they're going to get, basically. So you like tahfiz now? Thank you. I appreciate it. Alhamdulillah. Targhib. Okay, we're going to come to that, You're jumping ahead. Okay, all right. All right, so tahfiz, I want to mention this is important because a lot of times when we start talking to non-Muslims about Islam, we start talking about why they shouldn't be Christians. You guys seen that? You see it a lot with who? The people who use the Bible. Like Ahmed Didat. Go back and look at some of his lectures. He's hammering them about how foolish their religion is and how this and why they shouldn't be Christian because of this, they shouldn't be Christian because of that. Why they shouldn't be Christian. At no point does he say why they should be Muslim. What do I stand to gain by being a Muslim? Give them this what? This tahfiz. And we see this in the story of Nuh in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, he said, قُلْتُ اسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ فَقُلْتُ اسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ إِنَّهُ كَانَ غَفَّارًا. I said, seek your Lord's forgiveness, for indeed He's oft forgiving. Right? Then after that he said, يُرْسِلُ السَّمَاءَ عَلَيْكُمْ. Not only that, He's not only going to forgive you, but He's going to what? Send abundant rain. Right? وَيُمْدِدُكُمْ بِأَمْوَالٍ وَبَنِينَ. Not only that, it's going to give you lots of wealth and children, sons. And then after that he says, وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ جَنَّاتٍ. He will make you paradises on earth. وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ أَنْهَارًا. And give you rivers. Gave them what? Tahfiz. This is what you stand to gain if you accept this deen. So we need to busy ourselves not with why they shouldn't be Christians, but why they should be Muslims. That's what we mean by what incentive-based da'wah, at-tahfiz. And finally, at-takhweef. You can't leave that. You can't just be on the side of targhib, but you have to bring what? Incorporate a tarhib. To khawwifhum billah. You have to make them afraid of the consequences of what? Of not accepting this deen. So they've been put on notice. It's not an option. Oh, you have a lot to gain, but nothing to lose. La. You have something to gain, and something to what? Lose. And this is included in the meaning of the statement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when He said, "Udu ila sabili rabbik bil hikmah wa wal maw'idah al hasana." Al maw'idah al hasana is part of that. Is what? At takhweef. You have something, there's something you stand to lose if you don't accept this deen. You have to let them know that. Doesn't mean you can't let them know that in a nice way, in a polite way, but you have to put them on notice. It's not an option, not purely optional. You have free will, but if you make that wrong choice, there's going to be consequences. That's my lecture. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa barak ala Nabi Muhammad.
Brothers who were representing a masjid, some of you did not get a copy of my book for your masjid. Please, you can get it from me now or outside, inshallah.
Barakallahu feek, ya Shaykhana. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. May Allah bless you, Shaykh.